Hello there, welcome to Tech and Cash. So today we're gonna take a look at some of the new birds from the latest Wingspan Asia. And of course, joining me, we have Flan from Winging It. So how are you doing, Flan?
Hello, I'm very good. I'm very excited for this. Lots of new birds, so yeah, let's get
Yeah.
into it.
So I guess for a little bit of context, I got the preview copy of the game, so I already play a few game of the latest Wingspan Asia. So I already seen some of the birds, not all of them, but all of this should be totally new to Flan, except for a few
Mm,
that already spoil on all the social media. So yeah, this is gonna be fun. I guess like for this series, we're gonna rate all the new Wingspan Asia birds by three categories. So it's either gonna be a tug, a play, or if it's mid tier, it will be whole. How does that sound?
sounds good.
All right. I guess another thing is like since Wingspan Asia is a standalone game, I think like as we rate the game, it's important to keep in mind that we are not comparing this too much to other birds from other expansion. I think it's important to think of the new bird in the context that these are the birds we have in this particular game or expansion. So
Yeah, it definitely seems to be set up in such a way that this can be played obviously on its own. So I think the birds are going to be balanced and kind of set in such a way that they are going to function on their own. So we'll try and keep that in mind when looking at these.
all right, without further ado, let's jump right into it. So let's take a look at our first birds here. So we have the common sandpiper.
Very nice. Draw one card for each bird in your wetlands with an egg on it. Keep one and discard the rest. So, yeah, that's nice. I mean, any time you can get extra cards when you're drawing cards on the wetlands, that's a good option to have. I guess maybe early on might be quite tricky because you're not going to have so many birds down with eggs on them. But yeah, if you can draw a bunch of cards and look at a lot of cards and keep the best one, that's pretty good and it's pretty cheap as well. So I'd go for play for this one.
I agree. Like this definitely looks like a play. Like good power, good card draw. At the same
Yeah,
time, very easy to play in early game.
absolutely.
All right,
Yeah.
so we already have a play here. So let's take a look at our next bird here. So we have the blue rock thrush.
Oh my God. Okay.
Oh,
If this bird has no birds to the right of it, you may move it to the player map of the player on your left. If you do draw three cards.
yes, I've played this bird
Wow.
before, so this is a very
Wow.
interesting one.
That's that's crazy. Okay, so it's like the migratory birds from the base game, but
It's a
kind of
total
juiced up.
upgrade.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So you get to draw three cards, but then I guess you're giving it to another player, and so then when they activate it,
yeah,
they're also going to get three cards at some point.
yeah.
Man, oh, this is chaotic.
I know, but it's game changing in some way, I feel like.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, if you play this in the first round, drawing three cards
Yeah.
in the first round, that is a lot. So, oh, I mean, yeah. If I get this at the start, I'm playing this. No
Oh
questions
yeah.
asked. It's a single food and it goes anywhere. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I like that.
Yeah. And the thing is like it's kind of balanced because your opponent will get to use the same
Mm,
power anyway.
right.
And then
Right.
the thing is you also get to choose where you park the
Mm,
bird in on your
that's
opponent's
very
board.
true.
So there's some strategic thinking there, like how can you mess up with your opponent's strategy and stuff like that. But yeah, I agree. This is definitely a play.
Yeah, I'm just imagining if you know your opponent's about to play a bird in their wetlands, and then you move this into their wetlands, are
Yeah.
they going to play it and trap it? Like, oh,
yeah, yeah.
this is good. This is going to cause so many arguments.
I know, but I think this is a totally fun burst, so I
Yeah,
really like it. All right,
I like
totally
that.
agree that that's a play. All right, next up we have the spotted dove.
Okay, if this bird has no birds to the right of it, you may move it. Okay, so it's the
It's
same,
the
but
same bird, yeah.
the other side. So yeah, I mean, again, it's maybe less flexible on the food, but again, it can go anywhere. So. That's interesting. I guess, for Asia games where you're just playing on that duet mode, it's not going to matter
Where
because the
you
players
go,
to your left
yeah.
or right are going to be the same. But I guess in some of the flock modes maybe that are included in this expansion, if you've got 7 players, it's
Yeah.
going to gradually it might not come back to you for quite a while. So that might be something worth thinking about.
That's
So,
a very good
but yeah,
point. Now I can see how that causes argument. Like there could be just two
mm,
player colluding and just like passing
yeah,
left and right
yeah,
and ignoring other players. So
absolutely,
that's something to think about. But yeah, that this
yeah.
is the same power. I guess this would be a play as well for sure.
I would say yeah, it's still a play
Yeah.
definitely.
By the way, I'm randomizing this deck, so I have no
Okay,
idea what's coming up. But next we have the
right.
Green Bee
Ah,
Eater. 3 food
yeah. This
cost.
this one looks familiar. I think this was teased before. So yeah, if there's a bird in the tray with a worm in its food cost, you can tuck it behind the bird. So kind of tricky. Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah.
3 food. You only get 4 points. I mean, you do get a star nest. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if you've got a good bonus card that this can work towards, like food or expert, I guess, or maybe even bird counter or something like that,
Right.
maybe. But yeah, it's quite expensive. So I think early game you're going to struggle to play that. But I think if you can get a good forest going and yeah, get the food to play that and get this as part of an engine, you have a really good chance, I think, of being able to activate that power. So
Yeah.
I'd say probably hold and then
Yeah.
maybe play depending on the circumstances.
Yeah. I mean, compared to some other bird that we have already seen, I definitely don't feel
Mm.
very strongly about
Yeah,
this. Yeah, I
yeah,
think Ho is fair. I mean, the star nest like could be nice as well,
right.
but yeah,
Absolutely,
3 grub is a lot of investment in early game. All
definitely.
right, next up, I think this might have been teased before. So it's the bearded reeling. Am I saying this
Oh
right?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I do remember seeing this in one of the recent teasings. So yeah, for each of the bird in this column with an egg on it later on this bird. Yeah, I mean, I can see this working definitely early game, right?
Yeah.
You play this as your first wetland bird. I think you're quite likely to have birds in the same column with eggs on them as well in that first round. So you can probably pretty reliably get 2 eggs around on that, and it's got lots of bowl nest space as well. So
Yeah.
certainly you're not going to worry too much about filling up. So yeah, I think early game, I think this is a play for sure.
Okay. I feel for me, I feel like it's a whole. Like I just feel like the free eggs that you get really doesn't synergize well with the strategy because you have to lay eggs to get more eggs, like with
Yeah,
like, it just kinda defeat the purpose. Like if you can get free eggs without laying eggs, then you can accelerate the game. But this make you lay eggs. You're just getting more eggs and like 2 food for a wetland bird.
mm.
Yeah, a little bit on the whole side for me.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it can work. I think if you do get it down in that first round and lay eggs on the other 2 birds in that column, you're going to get these free eggs, and you can then start using those in the next round.
Yeah,
So if those eggs that you used at the end of the first round are still there, they're
yeah,
still going to count for the next round as well. So I guess it would need some careful planning.
yeah,
Like you say, you don't want to be laying eggs too many times, because the whole point of this bird is that it saves you those turns laying eggs. So
yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
I think it's situational. I think it can work, but yeah, I can see why
yeah,
it might be a hold for the most part.
okay. All right, moving on. What do we have next? So, all right, we have a predator coming up. We have the Eurasian Casserole. I know there's a lot of
Ooh,
interesting hunting power in the new expansion. So,
yeah. Well, this is definitely one. So
yeah,
roll any 3 dice if you roll at least one rodent, cash one rodent on this bird. So I guess it's like the
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 base
the
game
dice rolling
hunter, but
that we're
better.
used to, but more reliable, I would
Yeah,
say, because a lot of the time with those, there might only be 1 or 2 dice outside the feeder, and so you're kind
yeah.
of stuck. I'm trying to rack my brains what the probability is for 3 dice. I think it's about 40%, something like
Okay.
that. So, it's still not amazing,
Yeah,
but I mean it's 3 points for 1 food and it goes anywhere.
yeah.
And you can roll any 3 dice. So actually, I guess if you want to maybe re-roll some of the dice in the bird
Oh,
feeder
that's a
to
good
help you,
point.
so that I think that could come into play. So
Yeah,
I'd be willing to give this a shot. I think I'd be
yeah.
willing to play this
I think
definitely.
for the flexibility, definitely, I can see as a
Mm,
play. By the way, while no pressure, but sounds like we definitely need a new map series for some of this hunting power in the new
I mean,
expansion. So
I've already seen some of the other ones that are teased that are very, very complicated. So
yeah.
yeah, that that might be needed as well.
All right. So the next bird we have the common teal. So we have
Oh
a teal
wow.
power with the common teal.
I feel like they must have done that on purpose,
Yeah.
but okay. So for every 3 eggs in your wetlands, draw a card from the deck. You may tuck up to 2 from your hand behind this bird. Okay, that's pretty nice, I guess. You can draw extra cards, and I guess like some of the other teal powers we got in the European expansion, being able to tuck at the end of the round, I think that's quite nice. So yeah, I guess the question is going to be how likely you are to have those 3 eggs in your wetlands
Right.
in the first round. Are you
Yeah.
really going to be able to benefit from it straight away? But yeah, even if you play it in round 2, if you get 3 activations from that for 6 points for a single food and maybe
Yeah.
seeing some extra cards, I can see that working. But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't instantly play it.
Yeah.
I would say probably a hold, and then if it is your only wetland bird and it's something to get down, it's a way of maybe getting some extra cards and some extra points as well.
Yeah. I'm kind of leaning towards whole as well. I feel like, especially we
Yeah.
started with the, I think what was the bird, the Sandpiper, like that give you
Mm,
much better card draw than
right.
this, that you have to
Yeah.
rely on like the end of the round to see the cards. So yeah. Yeah, like you say, you make a very good point. Like most of the time in round 1, you don't even have that many eggs in the wetland to
Mm,
begin with. So, and you need 3.
right.
All
Yeah.
right. We have another interesting predator coming up. We have
Oh, here we
the
go.
purple heron. Oh yeah.
Oh my. Okay. All right. So this time you choose any 2 dice, but you get to roll them up to 3 times.
Yep.
Oh, this is a push your luck one. Okay, so you
Yep.
can, if you keep rolling worms or fish, you get to cash, and then if you fail, then you lose all the cashes. So, oh man, that's tricky. Again, I'm probably gonna have to get the
The
calculators in
calculator
the
out.
spreadsheet, yeah, to work out this because I have no idea
But I feel
how
like the
many
odds
points
is
you're gonna get.
pretty good. Like
Yeah, I guess so. So worm or fish, that's a 50-50 on the
yeah.
roll, and
And
you're
you get
rolling
two
you're rolling
dice.
2 dice. So.
Yeah.
So it's what your 1 in 4 chance of failing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that feels pretty nice. That's definitely, I would say, again, like the Kestrel, it feels like an upgrade
Yeah.
on the existing dice rolling powers. Again, you can choose any 2.
Yeah.
I guess if maybe you get 1 cash and you're happy with that and you stop and you can do that. But if you want to again push your luck, you can get up to 3 caches here,
Yeah.
and that's almost unheard of for these kind of powers. So
Yeah.
I'd be looking to play this. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for how flexible the fruit cost is, like even if
Right.
you can get 2 cash, it's a 4 point burst to jumpstart your wetland in early game. I think
Definitely.
really hard to not be tempted. So I would agree it's a play as well. All right, we have another Teal power coming up. So it's the Black Stork. So let's see,
Ooh.
what do you have here?
Okay. So lay 1 egg on each of the birds immediate to the left and right. That's tricky.
I know,
That's
left and
really
right. So
tricky.
you need birds in a row in early
Yeah.
game.
So again, you're probably not going to get anything from that in round 1
Yeah.
because you'd need, maybe. You probably don't want to play this as your first wetland bird or forest bird because you're not going to have a bird to the left. You kind of want it as that second bird, but then you also need to play another bird to the right of it to get the double benefit. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's an egg source that doesn't go, in the grasslands. So in some ways that's good, but it's 3 food for
No,
2
2 food.
really annoying, or 3 points for 2 very annoying food. I don't know. I think this might be a tuck.
I know. I feel like we might have our first tuck here. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a
Again,
shame.
yeah,
It's a
like
cool, it's a cool power, but very difficult, I think, to
yeah.
make that work.
You need eggs early on, and then it's just hard to
Mm,
get good eggs from this and 2 food.
yeah,
Yeah. So this is gonna be a
definitely.
tuck, Black Stork.
I think so.
All right. Oh, next, I think we have seen this already. Oh, this is gonna be a spicy one. So we have the
Oh, here we go.
Beaver. So we
Yes.
saw this teaser already. So
Yeah. I mean, this is a play. This is
Yeah,
definitely a play. So you get to tuck up to three cards from your hand, and then if you tuck at least one, you lay an egg. Like you might be looking at a 4 point activation there. It could go in the wetlands where you're already drawing cards, or maybe it goes in the grasslands after you've already drawn quite a few cards. So yeah, I mean it's expensive and it's only 3 points, but I'm playing this.
I
I'm
know
definitely playing
it's just
this.
so tempting. Like like
Yeah,
yeah, I think this is definitely gonna be a play for a lot of people. Like again, like
yeah,
it's flexible as a grassland engine, but in the wetland,
right,
like yeah, lots of potential. So no question about that. And on
definitely.
top of that, you get a star nest. Like how nice is that?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I think we might have also seen this on some social media as well. So it's the Asian Emerald Dove. It's a one play power for 3 food.
Hmm, interesting.
Yeah,
Okay, that's difficult. That's difficult to work out. So you lay two eggs on each other bird in this column.
yeah,
I guess maybe early game if you need eggs, you might get four eggs from that, and that early in the game can really accelerate things. But
yeah.
again, early in the game, three food is quite difficult to get hold of. So
Right.
mm, I'm gonna I'm gonna say probably a tuck, but I
Okay.
might hold it. I might hold it if
Okay.
I can make it work and get some free eggs that are gonna save a couple of turns.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the other extreme. I want to say this is a play for me. Also, I should disclaim that I've played this bird in one of the game.
Okay.
Yeah, I think like the number of eggs that you can get like in one go can really accelerate the game. Like especially
Mm,
like say if you somehow manage to play this in early game and get 6 eggs, like you are done. Like you can really focus on like just like building your engine and drawing cards without worrying about eggs for a while. And the same even for
yeah.
late game, like the eggs can be quite valuable. So yeah, I'm leaning towards play here. So um
Yeah, I mean it's on each other bird, right? So you don't get to lay eggs on this one itself.
oh,
It's only
okay.
on the two others.
I might be
So,
confusing this with another very similar
or is there
bird.
another one there?
Yeah,
I know.
but
I think I can maybe see it working if you get four eggs, but again, I mean, I don't want to compare to
yeah,
some of the base game birds we're used to. But again, from those, you can normally expect maybe three or four eggs, and they're normally a bit cheaper than this. So
yeah.
I don't know. I think it can work, but I wouldn't be going out of my way to play this early on. I'll put it
Okay.
that way.
I think it would be I guess I'll downgrade it to a hole for me.
Okay, we'll
That's
go with
fair.
that.
All right. So what do we have here? Oh, we have another bird from the lark family, the crested
Oh,
lark.
oh no, not another one.
I know. Let's see if it's
Okay,
an upgrade from the
so
infamous.
so discard one seed if you do lay one egg. So this is basically Thecla's Lark, but not as good. Although I guess it's got more space. I don't know. Is this better than the other larks? It's the same food cost and points and everything as the horned lark.
Yeah.
So it's very similar in that respect. But I
I
don't
feel
know
like
that.
yeah.
Uh, I, uh, I'm gonna say probably a tuck. To be
Yeah,
honest,
I feel like it's the
I'm not
same.
super keen on the power.
Yeah, it's just like, where do you get consistent, grain and yeah, I
Yeah,
feel like the Lark family really doesn't get much love in Wingspan.
they've been absolutely shafted. I think
I
so. I feel a
know.
bit bad.
All right. So the next one we have a 3 food cost, the common green magpie.
Ooh, that is a very unusual food cost. So gain a worm or a rodent from the bird feeder. If there is one, you may cash it on this bird. Okay, I quite like that. I think that's pretty good for a forest engine bird, right? You're pretty likely to get that as a cache from the bird feeder. And if you are gaining food, you can selectively leave the food there that you can then take and cache. So I know it's expensive, but I like it. I think that could work. I think it's probably a hold, but
Yeah.
then if it fits into your forest setup, I think that would be a good one to play.
Yeah, I think, yeah, for the points and the food and the power, yeah, I can see I'm kind of leaning to this whole too. Definitely not like fantastic bird that I'm, jumping to play it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that might be a good stopping point for this
All right.
episode here. I think we have seen quite a few really exciting birds, so make sure you
For
stay
sure.
tuned. We're gonna continue to review the rest of the bird. I mean, how do you feel so far seeing like some of this bird?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, some of them I had seen through the teasers and through the spoilers, but there's so many like really fresh powers that just feel very, very different to what we've seen before. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to getting to play with these.
All right, for the rest of you, stay tuned. We're gonna have more Asia bird review coming up. And as always, thanks for watching and thanks Flan for being here. And I'll see you
No
on next
worries.
time. All right.